on my first trip south to join the Free Southern Theater, I was changing planes in Atlanta to continue on to New Orleans. And while waiting at the gate area, I noticed a commotion of people. It was like a small little entourage, and then I noticed the people murmuring about me that it's like Martin Luther King. Martin Luther King. And I looked up, and there was Martin Luther King actually walking towards the gate area. And at that particular time, and probably in general, there weren't many black people that were flying or using the airport in those days. It was almost all, except for myself, white people in the area. And then he came with his small entourage, and he came right up to me. And he grabbed my hand and shook my hand, and we had a little brief conversation. I don't remember a word of the conversation. I was like, this is Martin Luther King, so. But I was really just blown away by, his, the power of his personality and his character. And of course, he had already become a hero of mine, and as he had to a lot of people, and a lot of what he had been doing for, by then, 10 years, had led to the reason why I was going south, the whole movement. I mean, he was one of the forerunners of, what became the civil rights movement. So that was really exciting. And then, consequently, in being a part of that whole period in the movement, I got to meet and even know a few of the other major figures of the movement. Andrew Young, who was one of King's closest aides, went on to become the first black mayor of Atlanta, a UN ambassador, and so forth. Julian Bond, who was, at the time that I was in the South, he was the head of SNCC, the Student Nonviolent Coordinating Committee. So I met him a few times in that capacity. And quite a few others, who were, really just amazing figures. The courage of people like that, and a lot of whom, people do not know their names. They're not household names like Young and King and Bond, but guys like there's a guy named Bob Moses, who was kind of legendary among the movement, the early movement people, because he was a guy who was so far ahead of his time and one of the most brilliant people, very soft-spoken, but he accomplished a lot in terms of his ability to organize and structure ways of impacting the people's lives in the South, as far as voter registration and things like that, which were really revolutionary during that time. And I got to meet people like that, so it was like, a real education for me. Well, I think they all appreciated what we were doing. And they realized that it was an important part of, the expression of these ideas that they had been actually, doing with real people and real events and changing, society and politics. But a lot of them, Julian Bond especially, I think, because he was also somewhat of a writer. He wrote poetry, and so he could relate to the artistic things that we were about. And there was always this sense of camaraderie, because we were all there for the same reason, to try to change things. I was too busy, actually living the stuff that was that was on the news. So I don't even remember if I had a TV back then. I mean, we were really living on low budget. We had, we had no money. We survived on the goodwill of our benefactors. A lot of the artistic community in New York and Hollywood supported our efforts. I even made some trips out to LA a few times and had a lot of the actors of the Hollywood community throw benefit parties for our support. In New York, there was quite a bit of support among the theater community and musicians and so forth. I remember going to one event and the main speaker was Henry Fonda, big movie star, but he, so many of those people were really behind what we were doing, so that was pretty exciting.